Welcome everyone to today's webinar. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to spend a little bit of time with us. This is our series, Transparency is the New Green, in Product Selection and Specification. And we are honored to have Paul Marquez from XLERATOR Dryer with us today to talk specifically to that topic, how transparency is the new green for XLERATOR Dryer and how their transparency investments are getting utilized in product selection and specification. Now, usually we have two manufacturers and sometimes three present in each part of our webinar series. But today I'm going to take a little bit of time to give you folks a preview of what we're planning for the next version of the Transparency Catalog, and even recruit any of you who are on the webinar today to follow up and let us know if you'd like to participate in giving us some feedback, doing a little testing and giving us some feedback. We're a user-centered product development organization, and we only design and build products that not only are useful and usable, but that people really enjoy using. And so you can't do that. We can't do that without having people actually try it out and let us know their experience of using it. So we'll get to that a little bit later after Paul tells us about what they're doing at XLERATOR Dryer. So this webinar series is really about offering manufacturers the opposite of a CEU course, where they're not really allowed to talk about their products and their company. This is really designed for manufacturers to do exactly that, to tell you about the company's commitment to sustainability and transparency, to tell you about their products, and to really share with you their transparency journeys. Every manufacturer has spent and is spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and making a lot of effort to not only invest in transparency disclosures for external use, but for taking that information and driving it back into their own product development processes to continue to make higher performing products. And so what we're going to learn from Paul today, is this is top of mind for people right now, is how the XLERATOR Hand Dryer with the HEPA filter is really going to be your best choice for providing a hand drying solution in today's buildings that remove viruses. Paul's going to tell you more about that. We'll talk about the company, the brand, their commitment to sustainability. He's got some great stories about how their transparency investments literally is winning them business over competitors. And he's got a couple of great project stories where you're going to hear directly from XLERATOR Dryer customers, facility managers from Gillette Stadium, and from one of the leading senior living facilities here in Massachusetts, talking about the benefits of having chosen XLERATOR Dryer as the hand drying solution for their facilities. And then again, the benefits of specifying a sustainable and hygienic hand drying solution. And then we'll get to the continued use of the transparency catalog, doing even more in one click. So talking about product transparency, I always like to frame it up in our discussions that, a lot of manufacturers have gone about producing environmental product declarations or material ingredient disclosures so they can actually check that box of having transparency documentation. But the truth is that the real value for manufacturers for investing in product transparency comes from really understanding what their findings are from doing the LCA, doing the material ingredient disclosure, and then driving it back into their product development processes. Ultimately, people are going to trust those brands that understand what's happening in their product systems and can tell meaningful stories about their knowledge of this information and what they're doing to improve. And it's that aspect of the investment in product transparency that really creates preference and value for brands. So today, as I've mentioned, we'll show you a little bit about the Transparency Catalog today and the XL Dryer presence in the Transparency Catalog. We'll hear from Paul, that I affectionately titled his presentation Air versus Paper. I personally think they have the best tagline of any company I've ever heard from. And I'll just give it away. I mean, they use it all the time, but their tagline is time to throw in the towel, which is just perfect for the story that they tell. Then we'll get into this sneak preview and we'll have some Q&A. For those of us who are on today's call who are not familiar with Sustainable Minds, just a quick overview. We're a software company. I started the company, Terry Swack. I started the company, I guess, 13 years ago now, which really does seem like an eternity in the era of green. When I started the company, green wasn't even something people were interested in, really, which is why we created tools to help product manufacturers design and now market greener products. And as we've evolved, we've added more product families. So our whole transparency product family, we started to develop in 2013 when we became a program operator, and we've continued to develop technical expertise as the market has evolved as well. So we are the only end-to-end product transparency solutions provider in the market today. Where not only are we an EPD program operator developing product category rules and environmental product declarations, we deliver LCA and material evaluation services, and then we've created this marketing platform. The Transparency Catalog is a marketing platform for manufacturers to get their products found and selected and specified into high performance buildings that the building construction industry now is really themselves invested in creating. And our whole solution is really integrated so that manufacturers can work with us from start to finish or in parts of that solution, depending upon where they are in their own journey and other partners they may have already. And we're pretty flexible, and we have a really significant set of relationships with architecture firms, construction companies, and all the people in those kinds of firms, understanding what they do in their day-to-day to continue to improve the design of our solutions. So what is product transparency really about? It's about performance. So just like product manufacturers, reps, just like Paul, who have to know every aspect of the product's performance as they're out educating and selling it now, environmental performance and material health are two attributes of high performance. It's now part of how the industry defines successful buildings. So not only do manufacturers who are investing in product transparency need to understand what the results mean, they need to be able to educate their customer-facing people, their reps, their distributors, their partners, so that they can be knowledgeable and fluent in that knowledge in terms of explaining these two new attributes that people are using to make selection and specification decisions. Bottom line is, from a manufacturer's perspective, you can't manage what you don't measure. Everybody's heard about that. And you can't compete on these two new attributes if your sales and marketing organization is not educated about what it means and how to use it to compete. So the Transparency Catalog continues to revolutionize green building product selection and specification for building product manufacturers to grow their revenue and brand. We've done that and continue to do that by radically simplifying the delivery of product transparency information. We've gotten it down to one click using master format filtering for people to be able to find all the products, all the brands, and all the products with transparency information in each master format division and section And what I'm going to be showing you today is how we have added search alongside that master format filtering capability to make that searching capability even more specific and faster. So we're pretty excited about that. This is what the catalog looks like today. You can use these master format division and section filters, or you can browse all the brands. Here's what's coming, and we'll show you a live demo later. Right from the get-go, you'll be able to search and filter and get directly to the things that you're looking for, even doing more in one click. In the transparency catalog, and again, I'll show you later, you're going to see that XL Dryer is a featured brand in the catalog, which means they have this brand showroom with performance fact sheets for each of their products that not only integrates all the functional performance requirements and access to the specifications, but all of the environmental performance and material health attributes about their products, as well as a handy list of Green Building Rating System credits that their disclosures and their products contribute to. Here's their listing, just like every other manufacturer, that in a glance lets you see all the products that they have and which master format section. They have EPDs and HPDs, the most current version for all of them, and access to the spec and more information. So before we go any further, what I want to do is introduce Paul, and we're going to make him the presenter. And Paul, let's hear about what's happening over there at XL Dryer.
Appreciate that. Just want to make sure. Thank you. Okay, so Terry, are we good to go?
You are. Take it away.
All right, and just want to confirm that you see me on the screen?
Not yet.
Interesting. Bear with me for 1 sec. Okay.
So Paul, just so that you know, we are seeing your notes.
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. Great.
That just was not what I was trying to do there.
There you go. Right there.
All right. Thank you, Terry. And I also want to special shout out to Deb. I appreciate everything that Deb and Terry did in the background to bring this to fruition. So thank you, guys. So echoing some of the things that Terry already said, thank you today for joining us. Special greetings coming from XL Dryer. Pleasure to be with you guys today. As noted, my name is Paul Marquez. I am the head of architectural specifications here at XL Dryer. And today I have the pleasure of presenting this particular deck here for you, which we're calling Specifying Sustainable Hygiene Hand Drying Solutions. As a proud team member of XL Dryer family, my role spans from overseeing Dodge sales to assisting general contractors, distributors, and the A&D community with selecting the best solution for their restroom needs. In addition, I have the pleasure of providing educational support to all via facilitation of specification process. And of course, I'm always available to provide support for XL Dryer's full product line. I'm proud to sell a product that is sustainable, helps reduce our carbon footprint, and is hygienic hand drying solution at a time when hand drying hygiene is critical. Before we dive into XL Dryer being a family-run American-made manufacturer, I wanted to underscore XL Dryer's ongoing commitment to sustainability. In fact, XL Dryer always has been committed to sustainability. From our facility to our products, it's evident. We operate from one factory in East Longmeadow, and recently we installed some solar panels. And on these solar panels, we've installed 1,132 solar panels, and it generates about 265 kilowatts off the rooftop. So price right now, we're saving about $20,000 annually. And obviously it's not just, we're not just talking the talk, but we're walking the walk as well. So XL Dryer is a family-run, American-made manufacturer, and I apologize there, slipped over a slide. Continue here. So we're a family-run, American-made manufacturer. I've been truly blessed to be part of the XL Dryer team for about over 6 years. But XL Dryer has been manufacturing the finest American-made hand dryers for more than 50 years, right here in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. XL Dryer patented the high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryer. XL Dryers are the only hand dryers in the world that have an Environmental Product Declaration, EPD, Health Product Declaration, HPD, and can say that they're made in the USA certified. We provide touchless hand dryer solutions to help prevent cross-contamination between restroom surfaces and wet hands, which we know today is a critical part in maintaining proper hand hygiene. Clean and green. XLERATOR hand dryers are clean and green. XLERATOR is synonymous with sustainability, hygiene, and cost savings. As of late, the hygienic efficiency of the hand dryers has come into question. There's no evidence to substantiate any claims, which I will expand on shortly. Product transparency. To help all make greener products decisions, XL Dryer has partnered with Sustainable Minds. Here you see our product transparency catalog showroom, as Terry showed earlier, where you can find all our EPDs and HPD information we're going to share with you today as it pertains to our products, the XLERATOR, XLERATOR Eco, and Thin Air. So let's talk about key learnings and insights. In this next section, we're going to review key learnings and insights with regards to our air drying hand dryers and how they compare to drying your hands with paper towels. This chart here highlights the findings of a 2009 life cycle analysis study. It has since been updated to the following testing outlined in the product category rules PCR for hand dryers and as part of the Environmental Product Declaration EPD certification process. An LCA not only weighs a product's energy efficiency, but also measures to what degree its efficiency translates into significant environmental benefits over the full life cycle of the product. Here we can visually compare the carbon footprint of hand drying, looking at different drying methods. So we're looking at high-speed energy efficient hand dryers, traditional hand dryers, paper towels, and 100% recycled paper towels. Through this scientific approach, the results of the life cycle assessment executed by Qantas show that high-speed energy efficient hand dryers reduce the environmental impact of hand drying by 50 to 75%. Today, the two choices for hand drying in commercial restrooms are either paper towels made from virgin or recycled content or electric hand dryers, either both traditional or high speed. Speed of drying is just one of a number of benefits that high speed energy efficient hand dryers offer over other means of hand drying. First, let's look at the energy use. High speed energy efficient hand dryers. Environmental Building News commissioned a life cycle analysis comparing the energy used by 4 hand drying methods: high-speed energy efficient hand dryers, traditional hand dryers, paper towels, and 100% recycled paper towels. The study considered energy used to harvest raw materials and manufacture paper towels. It also assumed 2 paper towels per use. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but when I have the only option of using paper towels, majority of time, even if I just try to grab one, 2 or 3 come out. And generally speaking, I think it's a very conservative estimate that only 2 sheets are used. But the study did not consider the energy required to transport or dispose of the paper towels. If that energy was included, even more savings would result from the high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryers. Okay, so environmental business news results show that high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryers yield 98% cost savings per 1,000 uses versus paper towels. And high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryers yield an 80% reduction in energy per use, even versus recycled paper towels. So I'm gonna repeat that. An 80% reduction in energy per use, even versus recycled paper towels. With the cost savings from high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryers, a typical facility experienced payback on its investment in less than 1 year. We do have a savings calculator on our website if you'd like to calculate your ROI in private. In addition to the cost savings of ordering, storing, replenishing, collecting, and disposing of paper towels, we're not even talking about the clogged toilets right now. It also eliminated as well the waste that comes from using paper towels. So if you take a second here and you take a look at this, per 1,000 hand dryers, 50 cents for the accelerator, as much as $23 for virgin towels and $23 for recycled towels. Very significant information that we're sharing with you there. Very excited to share this as well. We have a new motor. So in addition to the hygienic benefits of the accelerator, the cost savings are one of many benefits of moving to a high-speed, energy-efficient hand dryers. But let's take a second here and look at what we're talking about. So we recently upgraded our motor, and based on an 8-second dry time, what this slide is saying is that you're going to get 1,350,000 dries or uses. And aside from the significant cost savings that we're looking at, and you can see the dramatic difference versus hand dryers versus paper towels, what I love about this is when this cycle runs its life, and that's again 1,350,000 cycles, which depending on the volume of usage in that particular restroom could go as long as 10 years. Presently today, all you would have to do is replace the motor, which today the list price of that is $100, and then the whole process would start over again. So no more purchasing, storing, replace paper towels, no more clogged toilets, sinks or urinals with paper towels filled in them. A facility can calculate their savings, like I said, using our cost savings calculator, which is on XLDryer.com/cost savings. So comparing one product to another. Now let's talk about product category rules, PCR, the value of a product category rule, and what should a good PCR do. As you are likely aware, a PCR is a set of rules, requirements, and guidelines following internationally recognized protocols established through industry consensus, underscoring that. This is industry consensus to develop environmental product declarations for one or more product categories. Standardized evaluation guidelines and reporting allow for the specified community and buyer to conduct a fair and just comparison of products and ultimately make more informed decisions based on credible third-party testing and not false claims. So in layman's terms, what I'm saying is a PCR helps to prevent greenwashing. It encourages all industry members to use the same rules, or if you will, units of measure. A PCR is designed to help decision makers make educated decisions when comparing one product to another. First global PCR, full disclosure, Our Vice President of Marketing at XL Dryer, William Gagnon, served as the chairman of the PCR project. So for XL Dryer, creating the PCR resulted in established product evaluation methods used to determine key values such as dry time and energy consumption through consensus, bringing together industry leaders on how to measure energy use and impact. So why is this important? The reason why this is important, and before I jump into this next slide, and the story that Terry was talking about that I'm going to share with you guys now. Recently, I received a phone call from a new distributor in our vertical of the market, questioning what a PCR 8-second dry time was. That's what I do. I love it. I'm passionate about it. Took the time to educate this particular person on it. The next day, I get a phone call from that same person saying, hey, we want a particular project, but we're with a different manufacturer. And the architect rejected our submittal because this particular manufacturer does not have a 8-second PCR dry time. Because of that, and because of the fact that the architect respected the spec, we were able to keep our product on that particular project. And even though the distributor won the particular bid with a different manufacturer, they had to come back to us and explain everything that they did, and we were able to help them out in that particular situation. But the importance was, if we did not have that PCR dry time, if we had not invested in our commitment to sustainability and transparency, we would have lost out on that particular project. Now, in this particular case, I received a phone call, but there could be other times where that's not the case, in the sense that it happens behind the scenes and they come to our product and they just get it from a different distributor or master distributor and we're not aware of it. But that just happened recently, and it's just an opportunity to underscore why this is so important. And we were the first to test to this, and this is what makes it so unique. XL Dryer, as I said, it was the first to test to the global PCR guidelines, and we're very proud of that fact. So every product with an EPD must be evaluated through the same use phase methods developed through industry consensus. For hand dryers, category some examples of evaluation measures, again, as I mentioned before, is energy per use and dry time. And here we've taken it a step further, and you can see that. So jump into this slide right now. What I'd like you to notice is, again, and that's the story that I articulated, is just the energy use as well. So the two big things here is the dry time and the energy use, underscoring that for us as well. So we've taken it a step further, having our products compared to other products in the same energy consumption. More recently, so jumping back here to every product with an EPD must be evaluated with assumed use phases. All right, so this is an example here of product consideration using a Quantus, and we're looking at the life cycle assessment. The life cycle assessment is definitely something that's important, and I recommend that everyone as well be sure to follow along with this as well, because it's extremely important to have a life cycle assessment. So high efficiency hand dryers have an EPD, and what's the importance that we're looking at in this particular LCA is, if you look at the energy use, as you can see, it's definitely way more minimizing the impact of a carbon footprint. HPDs. More recently, XL Dryer, in an effort to continue on the path of product transparency, completed a health product declaration, or as I just stated, an HPD, on all 3 high efficiency model hand dryers. XL Dryer realizes that having completed the HPD, that it's important to specifiers and selectors of building products to have all the information disclosed from them to make informed decisions and compare products' health declarations. health characteristics. Both our EPDs and HPDs are posted to the sustainable section of our website. XL Dryer is the first hand dryer manufacturer to publish a health product declaration. Next slide, we'd like to share with you one of our more popular case studies. I'm going to let you listen to Jim Nolan, Chief Operating Officer at Gillette Stadium. They have been loyal customers for over 20 years now.
Gillette Stadium is known as the home of the New Patriots, but we're really an entertainment facility. During a what we call a full stadium event, we typically have around 65,000 people in our facility. My main role here at Gillette Stadium is to ensure that the building operates efficiently, that we can put on events seamlessly, providing all our customers with a great experience. We've had the accelerator dryers in our facility for approximately 10 years. Prior to the accelerated dryers, we were using your standard paper towels. For one, they conserve paper products. We're not using as much in the building as we were prior to when we first installed the dryers. Sustainability is a big part of our operation here at Gillette Stadium. Having the accelerated dryers in place helps with the aesthetics of the bathroom, so we're not finding paper towels all over the floors and the toilets, urinals, sinks. We can take our staff and deploy them a lot quicker throughout the facility. So if we have a spill out in the concourse area or in the seating section, because they're not focused on replenishing the paper product in the bathroom, they're able to get to those issues a lot quicker and enhance the experience of our guests. So one thing that we really like about the accelerated dryers is that they're very reliable. With the millions of people who have come through the facility, we really haven't had to change any of the units out since they were first installed in 2009. The things that we have done is just change the covers on them, from a branding perspective, but the main components of it have not been switched out. We want to make sure our operations are as efficient as possible. Having the accelerated dryers, we're able to be more efficient in the bathrooms and provide our customers with a great experience.
Hand hygiene. It's always great to hear someone, it's one thing, obviously I'm biased and I love working for my company, but it's always great to hear from a third party or someone outside of the company, a loyal customer for 20 years, and they're doing great things over at Gillette. As we were talking earlier, hand hygiene is definitely something of concern today, and we're all trying to do our best to practice good hand hygiene. What we need to do is dispel the unsubstantiated myths that hand dryers are not hygienic. Proper hand drying is an instrumental part of hand hygiene to protect against spreading germs like the coronavirus. Proper hand hygiene equals thoroughly washing hands for at least 20 seconds and completely drying your hands. The analogy that I like to share, especially with my kids, is that you just don't brush your teeth, you also need to floss in order to make sure that you're practicing proper hygiene with your teeth. The same is to be said with hand washing. You hear it all the time that you need to wash your hands, but top health officials and organizations such as the World Health Organization are recommending not just washing your hands, but drying your hands thoroughly with a paper towel or a warm hair dryer. So, and as I mentioned earlier, they also mentioned that there's no evidence that hand dryers are spreading the coronavirus. World Health Organization, CDC, and Johns Hopkins as well. Touchless solutions. Here's another reason why our product is a hygienic solution for you. You don't have to touch anything when you're using our products. With the accelerated hand dryers, you create a touchless hand drying solution. Speaking on hygiene, so recently we've had our dryers tested, and as you can see, the optional HEPA filter systems can be added to the accelerator. And again, recently tested by LMS Technologies, challenged the accelerator HEPA filter system with 380 million viruses ranging in sizes between 1.6 and 604.3 nanometers. And at the end, the final net result was 99.99% of viruses were removed from the airstream. This is proof how a hand dryer can be clean and green. The next slide we're about to show you is from CEO of Seabury, Rick Heath, with a focus on hygiene and infection control.
I've been in the senior living and home health for 42 years. You have to remain competitive in this business. So we have just completed an $88 million repositioning and expansion program. Accelerators are in our clinic. They're in the skilled nursing area. They're in assisted living. They're in independent living throughout the common spaces. I believe the restrooms are more hygienic because you don't have the soiled paper laying around on the floor or even on the counters. It's important that we have good infection control here at Seabury and throughout our healthcare system here. We used to have a few World dryers, replaced them with the Dyson blade. The thing with the World dryer was that the airflow was such that the hands were never dry. And the Dyson seemed counterintuitive to put your hands down into the machine. So it was kind of fun to watch people try to figure out how to use it. I initiated the change to the accelerator dryer. Primary benefits of the accelerator are cost reduction because we're not using as much power and reduction in paper use. Seabury is very committed to trying to reduce our carbon footprint. So we did add geothermal, and we worked with GE to put in a large solar system. We also use the accelerator dryer to gain points for our Green Globe certification as part of the sustainability project. Seabury is the first Green Globe certified lifetime community in the The accelerator hand dryer helps with sustainability because we don't use as much power and it's not on as long as the old World dryers and so forth. They're easy to use, they're not confusing like the Dyson, and you've got the infection control part because you don't have papers strewn all over the floor and on all over the counters. I would definitely recommend other healthcare facilities and continuing care retirement communities to use the accelerator dryer.
Time to throw in a towel. So before we move on to the next slide, I just want to underscore a couple points on that one. So again, they were the first Green Global certified in the country. The other thing that I found very educational about this particular testimonial or case study is the fact that the CEO did the due diligence to go out into the market and compare our products to other products that are out there, other solutions, and they concluded that our product was the best solution for them. Lastly, recently they did upgrade their particular dryers with the HEPA filters as well. So just a good real life world example of the benefits. And again, what they're doing here is hygiene and infection control. Commitment to sustainability. That's what this is all about. Excel Dryer strives to disclose all the information of our products. Partnering with Sustainable Minds helps to communicate to specifies full product transparency. We were the first and only hand dryer manufacturer to partner with Sustainable Minds, something we're very proud of. Again, environmental stewardship. That's what it's about. We'd like to thank you today for your time And I was happy to be part of this program. And I'm going to pass this back over to Terry and open up the platform for questions.
Thank you, Paul. I really never tire of hearing about why people make certain decisions about their businesses. And last year, just sharing this story with the attendees, last year XL Dryer put on a CEU event at Gillette about green stadium design. And the gentleman that you saw here in the video, as well as the facility manager for the stadium in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and any of you who went to Greenbuild last year, that's where the closing party was held, which is a pretty significant place. They shared their stories about the challenges of running big stadium and all of the considerations that they have to make. And both of these facilities use XL dryers. But one of the points that really stuck with me about why it was a benefit for both facilities to use hand dryers rather than paper towels is the efficiency of their staff. And as politely as they could point out, because one told the story and the other concurred, that fans enjoy themselves at games and they might overindulge a little bit. And sometimes there's accidents in the hallways that have to be cleaned up right away. And they made the point that somebody has to be there right away to clean it up. And if they have to spend time in the restrooms putting paper towels in the dispensers, then that's time lost that they could be spending on responding to urgent requests, which, never in a million years would I have thought about, but that's a reality in running in a big event venue like that. So time to throw in the towel. We're just checking to see if there's any questions for Paul directly. We're going to move into the transparency catalog preview in just a moment, and I'm getting a text here that yes. Paul, I'm not sure if you're prepared to do this, but are you able to talk any more about how the science of the testing of how that 99% claim was derived?
Yeah, I can speak to that real quickly, but I'd love to let the data speak for itself. So LMS was a third party who we hired to run the testing, and we have all the scientific data. If there's someone who would like to read the findings, I'd be more than happy to share that with them. It might be a little dry just to go over it now, Terry, but if someone is interested in looking at the science behind that, we're more than happy to provide that directly to them.
Yeah, I think there are probably a few people on the call who would be interested in hearing that. For those attendees, when you leave, there's a few questions at the end. And one of those is just leave a comment. And if you're interested in getting the study on the hygiene and infection reduction, just leave a note in that note box, and we'll have Excel get in touch with you. All right, so I'm going to take back the screen. And before we get into the new version, all of you are familiar, or some of you might be familiar with the transparency catalog today. And I want to show you how you can find XL Dryer products. So right here, here's XL Dryer in the top of the featured brand list. And when you click on that, it's going to take you to the XL Dryer showroom. You can see some of the stats you saw today, and you'll have access to the performance fact sheets for each of these products. The functional performance, environmental performance attributes. This link is always going to take you back to the XL Dryer website. They have a ton of content about their products, a lot of downloads, a lot of videos. And right here, you'll be able to also download the specification. And right here, you'll be able to get access to the EPD and the HPDs. And here's some of the content that Paul showed you today, and a quick overview of, again, how they're making it greener, how they're making it healthier. And you can always contact XL Dryer from lots of different places within the transparency catalog. The other way to find XL Dryer is if you're browsing brands, and you can always look alphabetically on the front page. We've always been committed to making sure the industry can see how many manufacturers in the industry have invested in product transparency. And so if you want to see them all, we want you to see them all. Here they are. And this is going to take you to the XL Dryer listing. And in a glance, again, you can see all three products, the master format section. You can download the specification. You can get right to the EPDs and the HPDs. They're all right there to download. I think my home internet is a little bit slow, but probably the same experience for many of you. Same with the HPD, you can download that. If you like what you're seeing, we're going to invite you to use the social media tools, and I quit out of my email, so I can't demo this. If you click this link, it's going to pop up an email that includes the link to this page. So you can email that to your team, to the building owner, to the contractor, to the subs, that says, go here. You can find all the information you need about these products, all the documentation, specifications, all right here, all in one place. And so one click, you can get that done. All right, so let's take a look at the version 3.0. And we've taken a long development path in building the transparency catalog, because from the very beginning in 2016, when we launched it at Greenbuild, there were only 350 building product manufacturers in North America who had invested in product transparency, either in creating EPDs or material ingredient disclosures. It was always designed to be a specification support tool. When we launched it, we actually showed what the filtered results would look like when we added master format filtering. But because we're a user-centered design firm and want to make a product development firm and want to make products that people love to use, it wasn't until the beginning of 2019, so almost 3 years later, for there to be enough building product manufacturers investing in product transparency across enough master format divisions and sections to be able to add master format filtering. And so in January of 2019, we added the master format filtering. So now you can actually do this today. You can pick a division, you can even pick a section, and in one click, it's going to take you to the search results that will show you every single building product manufacturer in division 0720 investing in product transparency. That will allow you then to search and filter further by section, by brand, and even by credit option. And we do have search, but it was only searching on product name, not a primary function. And the reason that we didn't implement a broader search until now is because more and more project teams are being required or responsible for doing the project specification. And the role of specifier as an individual, not knowledgeable person is beginning to decrease. There just even aren't that many people who have that knowledge and training and experience anymore. And so there is a need for people to better understand master format and how to use it. And so now by adding search alongside master format, it's going to allow people who are not that familiar with master format to be able to say, you know, I'm not really sure what division a product that I'm looking for is in. So this is a daunting list. Let me do this. Let me just put in, you know, insulation and hit go. And now what you're going to get in the search results is every manufacturer who has insulation in their name, every product that has insulation in its name, and every master format section that has insulation in its name. So that's why you might have seen in the search field, it says brand section or name. Or no, I think we gave examples of two types of materials and then name. And so a user might scroll down and, you know, insulation is a fairly homogeneous section. So you're going to get mostly stuff in Division 7. But now a user can come in and you know, start to get even more specific in terms of what they're looking for. Or again, just what we've tried to do is make it possible to use any of these filters in any order that you like. Now, further, a user might say, you know, International Cellulose, I've heard of them. I'm not that familiar with them. Let me go learn more. And then the user can click the brand name or the company name and be taken directly to the manufacturer's listing in the catalog, where now you can not only see all their products that are there in Division 7, you'll be able to see every product that they have in every section division they have products in. In this case, they've got products in Division 9 in acoustic ceiling coatings, and you'll be able to learn more about the company, contact them, use the social media tools, go directly to their site, learn more. And then if you've come here and they don't really have what you want, and you want to start a new search, you can go back and do something else. Or go back to where you were, start over. So it's designed to be very fluid in terms of supporting people in early stage design who are really just kind of looking for stuff as they're kind of organizing their research, all the way through to working on a specification and saying, look, I need to select 3 manufacturers with equivalent products in Division 0920. And pretty quickly, you can say, all right, I want to look at USG, National Gypsum, and Semco. And there you've got your 3 brands. And then you can start to say, great, I want to earn lead credits. So show me all the ones that have EPDs so I can earn the EPD credit. Show me ones that have EPDs and material ingredient disclosures so I can earn both credits. And now you're down to 3 brands, 20 products. And you can page through and look at them all, or you can start drilling in and learning about each product and continuing your research that way. So we're going through a testing phase right now, and the testing is to test how we've built the search, but more than that, we want to understand how people search. What tasks are you doing? What's the outcome that you're looking for? In what stages of design, so that we can be sure that the solution that we're building supports the tasks. And it isn't as though people can always ask for what they want. They can't always say it should work like X, Y, and Z. But if we can understand at this point in time what you're tasked with doing is X, Y, and Z, then we can think about and maybe even say, well, what if it worked like this? Or what if it worked like that? And then together we can actually arrive at the right behavior, the right results that are really going to transform the way you work and make the transparency catalog one of the preferred brands of tools that you use. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up our time together. Just wanted to check, Jennifer, if there were any other questions that we wanted to sign off on before we head out.
Thank you, Terry, for having us on.
Paul, it was always a pleasure to work with you and to hear what's happening at XL Dryer. I mean, before we engaged in this webinar, I was unaware that people were skeptical about hand dryers being hygienic. So that was an important learning. And now that you have the documentation, it's too bad you have to go out and kind of debunk that. But I guess that's the cost of doing business and having innovative products. So anyway, I want to thank everyone for attending and leave your feedback on the way out. And we look forward to having you at our next webinar as well. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you, Terry.
Hey, Paul.